All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Winnebago County Board meeting. Today is Thursday, August 13th, 2026. Tonight, our invocation and pledge allegiance is going to be by Board Member Dr. Michael Thompson. Please stand.
Dear God, give our educational leaders wisdom, discernment, and strength as they prep for another school year. Keep them healthy, safe, and rested so they can guide students throughout the next school year. Give our government leaders wisdom on how to represent our constituents in our county. Give our spiritual leaders your discernment on how to meet the people's needs as they glorify your name. Give our medical leaders strength, the resolve, and the hard work in saving lives. Give our civic leaders inspiration, courage, joy, and strength to meet the needs of their communities. And help us as leaders in Winnebago County to display courage, hope, generosity, and kindness. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, are there any agenda announcements this evening?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple. First of all, we're going to move the Operations and Administrative Committee report in front of the Economic Development Committee report. So that will come after the Finance and Zoning, and then we'll take up Operations and then follow that with the Economic Development Committee. And then under the Operations and Administrative Committee report, we're going to move 5 and 4. So number 5 will become number 4. The redistricting process for legislative maps will precede the resolution regarding the property tax relief. Is that clear?
Yes. Any questions about that?
Okay. And then, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a reminder that after we adjourn this meeting, everybody, board members are going to be asked to stay because we will reconvene as committee of the whole, and we will do a very brief budget presentation. So don't leave after we adjourn this meeting. Stay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Clerk, may you please call the roll?
Thank you, Chairman. We will start with Mr. Booker.
Present.
Mr. Butita. Mr. De La Trinidad.
Present.
Ms. Fellers. Mr. Gable. Here. Mrs. Gorel. Present. Ms. Hansert. Here. Mr. Hoffman. Mr. Lindmark. Mr. McCarthy. Present. Mr. Neighbors. Here. Mr. Penny. Mr. Scroll. Here. Mr. Sweeney. Here. Mr. Tassoni. Present. Dr. Michael Thompson. Here. Present. Mr. Ray Thompson. Present. Ms. Valdez. Present. Mr. Webster. Here. Mr. Arena. Here. Thank you all. Chairman, 17 board members present, 3 board members absent.
Very good. May I entertain a motion to allow Board Member Lindmark and Board Member Penny to join this meeting? Got it, Mr. Thompson and Dr. Thompson. Seconds, is there any discussion on that motion? Very good. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on, we do not have any awards, presentations, or public hearings this evening, but we have several speakers under public participation. I'm going to read a brief statement here, and then I will call you up. So comments shall be limited to 3 minutes. Speakers may not address zoning matters which are pending before the ZBA, zoning committee, or the county board. Personnel matters or pending or threatened litigation may not be addressed in open session. An individual may speak a maximum of 3 times per calendar year on the same topic. This prohibition shall include the repetition of the same topic in a statement on what is purported to be a different topic. Personal attacks or any inappropriate language will not be tolerated. So I'm going to call the speakers up, and you can come right up here to this podium. Our first is John Tack Brantley. And there is a clock right by the TV when you're looking towards it, up on the wall.
Good evening, Chairman and
Good
board members and our community that's watching. Today was the first day of school. I had another school added to me. I got 21 kids who I transport to school. 5 of them is elementary school, and they all get out at the same time. What I'm here today for is a follow-up about Camp Grant. And what got me involved with Camp Grant was being at City Hall and seeing it packed with citizens that was totally against the data center. And once I learned that the data center they want to build at Camp Grant, I said, no way. That is sacred ground. I did my homework on Camp Grant, or I should say I've been doing my campaigning on Camp Grant. And some of the things that stick out the most about Camp Grant is the fact that back in 1917, we had 4,000 Buffalo soldiers who caught the Spanish flu. We had 1,000 of them who died from the Spanish flu at Camp Grant. And then I learned that we had over 6,000 workers at Camp Grant. Guess where they lived at? Park Terrace, before it was called Park Terrace. Black Hawk, before it was called Black Hawk. Orton Keys, before it was called Orton Keys. And along the Kishwaukee corridor where they stayed at. The 6,000 workers, most of them worked at the POW. We had over 200,500 POWs at Camp Grant. The POWs got treated better than the Buffalo soldiers. But the other thing that stick out, well, first of all, I want to get to the support. I had a meeting with the Winnebago County Veteran Board, and the Veteran Board knew me, and I didn't know them. I got their full support. What they also is going to do, the Veteran Board is going to do, they're going to get in touch with Tammy Duckworth. They also going to get in touch with the veterans who was at Camp Grant. When I spoke at City Hall, it seemed like every time I bring up Camp Grant, I'm running into people who have family members that was at Camp Grant or who served at Camp Grant. The Veteran Board is not only going to bring veterans who was at Camp Grant, but they also is going to bring family members that was at Camp Grant. My biggest backup is the Park District. I want to thank the Park District because we not only looking at putting a memorial at the roundabout at Camp Grant, but we also looking at putting a memorial at Edwards Park. And as far as the fund goes, talking to the mayor at National Night Out, he said it's going to cost $15,000 to $30,000 for a monument. Well, I told him we're not worried about the cost because that's a historical landmark. And the Park District, instead of me, the money coming to me, the money going to be funneled through the Park District. And I'm glad that that's happening because one of my pet peeves is because I have have prostate cancer and whatnot, I want the money to go there. But last but not least, before I get ready to go, the library is going to have we're going to do a contest. Middle school, high school, and elementary school kids is going to do a drawing in the month of February. And whoever got the best drawing is the 2 monuments that we're going to put at Camp Grant. So that way we got the kids involved in school, and they also going to learn about Camp Grant. I just need to know who is the board member for that area that I need to talk to so I can talk to him, because I know I can't give no presentation. I know my 3 minutes is up.
Thank you.
But could you tell me who the...
We'll figure that out.
You will get me in touch with the board member?
Yeah, Of
Okay.
course. Thank you, Mr. All right, our next speaker is Mr. Bob Babcock. If you want to come forward, please.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity to address you on some very important issues. You have a choice tonight. You can pass the resolution to require photo IDs to vote and become an embarrassment to Illinois, or you can start on resolutions and efforts to better our county. Yes, I know that sounds kind of sharp and stark, but let's take a serious look at what I understand you're about to consider. The stated intent seems to be to prevent voter fraud. The problem is that the issue of voter fraud is fraud. The Heritage Foundation has noted that there have been only 2 cases in Illinois in the last 5 years. One was where a guy voted in Wisconsin and Illinois, and the other was a guy who voted in 2 different places. Photo ID would not have stopped that. Nope. Another situation that proponents of this resolution might point to is the 400 non-residents who voted in New Jersey. The problem there was a clerical error, and officials noted that those votes would not have affected the outcome of the election. But again, photo ID would not have stopped those folks from voting. Indeed, unless the state provided the ID at no cost, requiring a photo ID would be unconstitutional because it constitutes the equivalent of a poll tax. American voters are not to pay any fee to vote. The actual intent, in my opinion, is to divert attention from the real problem: voter suppression via election fraud. This has been highly documented by investigative journalist Greg Palast and NYU's Brennan Center for Justice. The tricks they use include caging, interstate cross-check, and deceptive mail pieces, among others. Millions have been purged, and it changed the election outcomes. It's right there on the web if you want to check it out. The people of Illinois understand these issues, and the resolution will not pass. Instead of passing this inane resolution, maybe the board could work on important issues actually affecting our county, like helping to find advocates for the 550 kids in foster care and supporting Winnebago County CASA. If they don't get that support, they're likely to have drug problems and end up in our prison system at a cost of $76,000 per year. Or maybe pass a resolution supporting expanded and improved Medicare for all, saving the average family about $4,300 per year and some 114,000 lives in our country. How about helping to extend the life of our landfill? I know the chair, that's important to you. And saving millions of dollars by supporting our restaurants in composting or other businesses on recycling. Maybe we could be more sustainable by stopping the use of plastic bags in stores, given that some 92% of plastic does not get recycled. I implore you to do the right things and become heroes instead of an embarrassment. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to watch my step.
Yep, watch your step there. Our next speaker is Janie Wilson Cook.
Does everybody have my presentation? Does anyone need a presentation? Okay, great. Wonderful. My name is Janie Wilson Cook. I am part in the county, part in the city. I'm at the corner of Montague Road and Montague Street. And my presentation is about the advisory referendum. If you start on first page, I will go through this very quickly. Okay. I am a voter and a deputy voter registrar. First you see my actual voting card telling where I vote. And secondly is my pin that I wear when I do register voters, and my certificate showing that I am a certified deputy registrar. This is my Illinois Board of Elections internal voter registration file, which is publicly accessible from this website. And you can see on it, it has all the information that anybody would need to know, I guess, to try and get me to vote the way they want me to. Page 3, this is my Rockford Board of Elections internal voter registration file. I actually got that from the Board of Elections for my husband and myself. If you look below, the information comes from a form similar to those that I use to register others to vote. In order to register to vote, I had to show proof of residency and citizenship. Any of these examples are valid. Though the state law does not specify a state-issued photo ID is necessary, my instructions from the Illinois and Rockford voting authorities tell me to ask for a photo ID and the last numbers of a social security number. Utility bills, etc., are used to verify present address, especially if a registrant has recently moved. All voter registrants swear under the threat of perjury that the information they give is true. My signature as a registrar is also actionable in case I commit fraud by knowingly falsifying registration data. Since I've already given the required proof, I only need a signature to vote at the polls. In case my signature was very different, it would be noted by an election judge. I would have to show photo ID to vote, and I would receive a letter to re-register at my voting authority. So you can see my passport, my Illinois driver's license, the signature on my public library card, my social security number, which is not visible, and my AFSCME retirees, everything. The signature is the same. I am a natural-born citizen of the United States. This is my birth certificate, Swedish American Hospital, a long, long time ago. My husband was a natural-born citizen of Canada and was naturalized as a United States citizen in 1997.
If you can have your final statement,
Sorry?
if you can close it out, that would be wonderful.
I'm very close,
Yep, no,
super
just
close.
go ahead and close it out.
Okay. You can see what he had to fill out, so I will give you my pitch. Fair and honest elections are, there. Fair and honest elections with unrestricted access for all citizens is crucial for our democracy. Placing an advisory referendum on the ballot, asking to do things already in the process, sows doubt in the integrity of the voting systems where none is warranted. I repeat, what you are asking the voter to approve is already part of the voting process. Both the voting authorities in Winnebago County, Illinois, County Clerk Lori Gummo, and the Rockford Board of Elections, plus over 70 local deputy voter registrars and hundreds of voting judges, are devoted to completing every election fairly and without favor.
Thank you,
Please trust the
Jenny.
system set up in the United States Constitution. Please do not recommend this referendum be placed on the ballot. Thank you for the extra time. I really appreciate that.
So everybody's got her presentation?
Okay.
Very good, they got it.
Take it home with you. Read it 3 times, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jan Kloss.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. My name is Jan Kloss, and I'm a resident and a voter. I've been a resident and voter in Winnebago County for 50 years now. Don't add up my age. Our family, my husband and I live in Cherry Valley. We're in County Board District 11, and my county board member is the famous Kevin McCarthy. So I am here in support of requiring voter identification in our elections, and it's a fact that voter ID is extremely popular with Americans. Polling has consistently shown strong majorities that include Republicans, Democrats, Independents, whites, blacks, Latinos, all are in support of voter ID requirements. Just a couple polls that I took off the whitehouse.gov website. The Pew Research Center found that 83% of Americans favor requiring all voters to show government-issued photo ID to vote. That included 95% were Republicans, 71% were Democrats, only 16% of Americans were in opposition. A Gallup poll showed 84% of Americans support requiring photo ID to vote, and 83% support requiring proof of citizenship when registering to vote for the first time. Finally, Harry Enton, a CNN reporter, has been quoted as saying, "Voter ID is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party or race. The vast majority of Americans agree with this." So American voters want assurance that only Americans are voting, that they are registered to vote, and that they show a photo ID when they vote. And I think what's happened is during the COVID era, when we saw changes in our election process, it caused some of our voters to be very concerned over the security of our elections. We saw changes. I'm also a voter registrar, but I saw changes as there were more online voter registrations, DMV registrations, increased voting by mail, and an influx of millions of illegal immigrants into our country. So an immeasurable price has been paid for the freedom and the privilege that we have to choose our elected officials. And every legally cast vote matters. We've had elections that are won or lost by a single vote. Some of you are well aware of that. We do not want illegal votes canceling or silencing our voice on issues that matter deeply to us. So I would ask you to give the voters of Winnebago County the opportunity to voice their opinion on this issue, put the question of voter ID on the ballot this fall, and let the people decide. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Mr. John Eckberg. Is John here? No? Okay, we'll move on. Our next speaker is Mike Reinders.
Thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts on the proposed amendment or recommendation for a referendum. I do understand the state election guidelines, and they require a photo ID. The gap here, in my opinion, is the state statute does not reflect that. And if we can encourage Springfield to make that, repair that gap, then we could have a better, more integrity. Voter registration process complicates this process with non-citizens getting a photo ID, and as was talked about earlier, in New Jersey we had that crack in technology. There was a glitch. Having proper ID moves things along at airports, allows access to the new presidential museum in Chicago, or library. We have automatic license plate readers in Rockford and Winnebago County, and you get your license plates read, but you also get a picture of the car, any scratches, any bumper stickers, and even if the camera angle is just right, you get a picture of the driver. So we have photo IDs and everything all over the place. I don't see this as an extra step. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Cliff Jensen.
Positive voter identification via a form of verified state or federal identification is important for the continuation of our society as we know it. We have seen multiple cases of people voting multiple times in the same election. 2 of these cases came to light in the last 2 months in Illinois alone. Suniti Sood of McLean County and Brenda Newth of Vermilion County both voted more than once in the 2024 election and are prosecuted for it. And these are just two that got caught in our state. They are a prime example of what one can expect with lax voter ID laws. People like these two women do not care that the law forbids them from gaming our election system. Honest people need to be protected from dishonest people such as these. Requiring an ID to vote will guarantee that people like Brenda and Suniti are not allowed to cheat. In our United States, we have seen an overwhelming shift to states passing stricter laws that require forms of legitimate ID to be presented before voting. 16 states have strengthened their laws in the last 4 years alone. The trend is toward legal and verified voting. And obviously there's a reason for this trend, because the people in these states have spoken and their voices have been heard. Reasonable people across the voting spectrum want their votes to count, and they don't want their voices canceled or corrupted by people who cheat the system. Americans generally accept election results if they feel they're fairly obtained. Results that are contrived through illegalities disenfranchise voters, and thus we see the groundswell to make elections fair and without the taint of falsehood. The National Conference of State Legislatures lists recent law changes on its website. By my count, the requirements to show a form of ID were tightened in all 4 new laws that have listed on their website so far in 2026. Their voter ID law changes for 2025 were much the same. 5 states made the requirements stricter, and 1 state, Montana, changed the law to allow certain forms of student ID as a valid means of proving voting status, which is more or less a lateral move. 2024 shows New Hampshire mandating a photo ID to cast a provisional ballot. Again, it makes sense. In 2023, 6 states had made stricter laws for voters. 5 of those laws made the law strict, 5 of these states made the law stricter, including a ruling in North Carolina that restored voter ID from the Supreme Court. Only Colorado bucked this trend in 2023, but they validated student IDs, meaning they still required an ID to vote. Overall, the trend is clear. States are making elections more secure and fair by requiring identification. Illinois needs to join the 36 other states in our nation that require voter ID. Our state deserves a fair and honest accounting of votes. It starts with IDs.
Thank you. I'm going to call John Eckberg again. No, Mr. Eckberg. So there's been a request by Mr. David Hale Jr. to speak. I'm going to allow that if there's no opposition from the board. Mr. Hale, come forward, please.
Hi. Before I talk, I want to say to John Tack, I appreciate what you said about the Buffalo Soldiers. I was a Buffalo soldier in the 4th Infantry Division, Delta Troop 1st 10th Cav, and we were the descendants of the Buffalo Soldiers, so I appreciated what you said about them. Thank you. Good evening, Chairman and members of the County Board. Tonight's discussion isn't only about voter ID. It's about whether the people of Winnebago County deserve to have a voice. I know people don't want this referendum, but I think the people deserve to have a voice. The referendum doesn't create a law or prevent anyone from voting. It simply asks citizens of this county what they think. If we believe in democracy, why would anybody fear asking the voters their opinion? Let's also be clear about the League of Women Voters, who filled, some in this chamber, filled the chamber a week ago, opposing the issue and describing themselves as nonpartisan, which isn't the same as politically neutral. Their 501c4 organization takes positions on political issues that mostly align with Democrat and progressive priorities, and on many issues overlap with groups like the Democratic Socialists of America. Here's what matters tonight. Voter ID isn't some fringe Republican idea. 83% of Republicans support it, 71% of Democrats support it. So when the League opposes voter ID, it's taking an advocacy position that on this issue is opposed by an overwhelming majority of Americans, meaning a no vote tonight is equally opposed by a majority of Americans, many of whom are living in Winnebago County. Voter ID is also hardly radical. Illinois already requires ID in certain voting situations. Around the world, approximately 176 countries and jurisdictions require voters to verify who they are. before casting a ballot. And 33 of 38 OECD nations require government-issued photo ID. Afghanistan, if you remember the lady with the finger that was dipped in red, requires a voter ID. Opponents argue voter ID could disenfranchise people. There's a common sense answer. Make government-issued ID available, free of charge, to every eligible voter who needs it. We don't have to choose between voting access and election integrity. We can protect both. Every illegal ballot nullifies the vote of a lawful citizen. Whether that happens once or 1,000 times, the principle remains the same. Every vote, every legal vote deserves protection. And to every board member considering voting against this referendum, I ask one question. Are you comfortable going on the record voting not against voter ID itself, but against allowing the people of Winnebago County to decide the question for themselves? And I will finish with this. You may disagree with voter ID, that's your right, but tonight's vote isn't voter ID. It's about whether the people you represent get to have their say. If you trust them to elect you, you should trust them enough to answer this question. Trust the voters, put the question on the ballot, let the people decide. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all the speakers this evening. All right, we'll move on to our agenda item number 6, the approval of minutes. May I entertain a motion to approve the June 25th, 2026 minutes and lay over the July 23rd, 2026 minutes. Mr. Booker and Mr. Dr. Thompson, is there any discussion on either the approval or the layover of the minutes? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Next is the consent agenda, which includes the raffle report and the auditor's report. May I entertain a motion, please? Mr. McCarthy motions, and we have a second by Mr. Booker. Is there any discussion on either the raffle report or the auditor's report? Very good. Are there any opposition? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Next are the appointments. We do not have any appointments to be read in this evening. We'll move on to standing committees. First is the Finance Committee. Mr. Butita. Thank you, Mr. Butita. Zoning Committee, Mr. Webster. Thank you, Mr. Webster. We're going to go to the Operations and Administrative Committee. Mr. Arena.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item from the Operations and Administrative Committee is a resolution supporting and approving an intergovernmental agreement for the transfer of the Housing Choice Voucher and public housing programs and all associated resources and/or assets from the Joe Davies Housing Authority to the Winnebago County Housing Authority, and I move for its approval.
Motion by Mr. Arena, second by Ms. Hansert. Discussion, Mr. Arena?
I'd just like to say that this is a testament to the good work that's done by the Winnebago County Housing Authority under Alan Zeiss's leadership. I think there's this perception in society that public housing is bad. I happen to own a property close to one of the properties owned and operated by the Winnebago County Housing Authority, and it's one of the best in the area. So they do a fantastic job, and this is just congratulations, I guess is what I'd like to say.
We all support that position. Good work, Mr. Allen. Board member discussion on this resolution. Hearing none, are there any board members opposed to this resolution? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present. Mr. Arena.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next up, we have a resolution submitting to the electors of the County of Winnebago, Illinois, by referendum, an advisory public question concerning voter qualifications, and I move for its approval.
Got a move by Mr. Arena, second by Mr. Booker. Any discussion, Mr. Arena?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So this issue has obviously generated a lot of interest, and I have to say that when this was first brought to me, I didn't move forward with it initially because I had assumed that people were required to provide photo ID, and Afterwards, I was approached by the advocates for this, and they said, take another look at the law. And we did. And I consulted with our state's attorney's office and found that, in fact, the law does not require a photo ID. We've had much conversation in committee about this afterwards, and a lot of, I've had personal conversation with folks from the League of Women Voters, and they've provided a lot of resources for us, and one of which is the registrar guide. And it's been said here tonight that this is already required, photo ID is already required within this guide. However, when you look at this document, on the second page where the text begins, it says, legal information contained in this guide is not binding and should not be construed as legal advice. This guide is not intended to be used as a substitute for relevant statutes, the Illinois Constitution, or applicable case law. Whenever there is a question regarding the interpretation of information contained in this guide or of a particular section of the election code or any other statute, the individual should contact legal counsel or their state's attorney, which, after the Operations Committee, I did again. And I have to thank Ms. Reuter for the extensive work she did, very detailed, and determined, again, the opinion is that you can register and then vote in Illinois without ever having shown a photo ID. Tonight we heard Mr. Hale speak about the true nature of what we're voting on tonight. We're not voting to change the law. We're voting on allowing people who live in the county to weigh in on this. And for me, this process has been educational, right? I didn't really understand the law, and a lot of people who I've talked to throughout the process maybe didn't understand it as well as they could, and I think this is an opportunity for all of us to educate our constituents on what the law would be. So for those reasons, I ask that you vote yes.
Thank you. Board member discussion. Ms. Valdez.
Thank you. I am also a member of the Operations Committee, so I was fortunate enough to be able to participate in the discussion that we had. It was a very good discussion that had both points and counterpoints, and like Mr. Arena said, I learned some new things about what the law is versus what we are doing as a county. In that meeting, it was asked, is there a voter fraud issue? And the answer was no. There is a 0.00004% chance of there being voter fraud. We were asked if there are any issues with the identification of people in the voting process. We were told no. I asked, who brought this forward? If there's no problem that we're talking about to solve, why are we here and why are we talking about it? And I was told that the head of the Republican caucus for Winnebago County brought it forward because other counties within Illinois were posing this same resolution. To this date, Madison County is the only confirmed county with any sort of resolution regarding voter matters on their ballot. So I'm back to the point of having discussed with the League of Women Voters thoroughly. Voter ID is determined by the last 4 digits of the Social Security number or their photo ID. First-time voters must show photo ID or provide the Social Security number if they mailed in or registered electronically. We were never answered how mail-in ballots were going to be handled. We were told that ID should be provided at no cost, but we were never told who was going to be covering the cost, how that was going to work. That's not stipulated in the referendum at all. This has been touted as being a bipartisan issue. However, if you look at how we voted in operations, this is not a bipartisan issue. This is 2 groups who are looking at this fundamentally differently. One of them is looking at it and saying, you are restricting people from voting when there is no problem to solve. And that is what the issue is. I don't like our voters' voices being used and misrepresented just to draw people out to the polls. I don't like the fact that there is no educational component to this, showing people what we are doing, because by placing this question on the ballot, we're making it seem as though there's a problem. We're telling voters that there is something that they should be concerned about, and I have a problem with that. I'm going to use this example before I close out. I have a 92-year-old mother-in-law who no longer has a driver's license. She is not able to make it to get her state ID. She's immobile. She does have a polling place at her retirement facility. If we were to require her to have an ID, even though she did everything she needed to when she registered to vote, under this referendum, she would not be allowed to vote. Her vote would not be counted. She doesn't have a passport. She's 92 years old. Why does she need one? So where do we draw the line? There are exceptions to this rule, and I wholeheartedly support people having a voice in the process, but we're giving them a voice to an incomplete process that does not make sense when there is not a problem. So I urge people to vote against this and make sure that we're using our constituents' voices where they matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Goro?
Thank you, Chairman. I was an election judge for 35 years. I had to stop when my husband became an alderman, but I have a certificate to prove it. The one thing I want to ask Lori, if you permit, I have a question to ask her, and that's the question is, how many people have voted illegally in our Winnebago County?
Please.
Thank you, Chairman. Since I have been clerk since 2018, I am not aware of anyone that has voted illegally in our county.
Lori, let me ask you another question. There are when you go to vote, there are two different ways for ID. And people overlook this, and I caught it one time back in the day, of the signature. Your signature better be the same as the day you registered to vote. I had a gentleman came through, and all of a sudden he went in a straight line. And I asked him, I told him, I said, that's not your signature. Oh, yeah, that's my new signature. I said, really? Why didn't you go downtown and change it? Even as we age, our signatures change. That is a form of ID. And every person who sits at that table as an election judge has to compare signatures. And they're a whole lot better than photographs, because you catch them easier because they don't realize it's the signature that you're also going up against. And the gentleman got very angry at me, and I told him, you can't vote here. You also have watchers at your polls that have lived in that neighborhood for, the judges have lived in the precinct for a long time. But you also have judges that come and can question anything at any time. And so they're aware of what they're looking for. We have more ways of going over this. In fact, I got caught today at the driver's station because I went to renew my license. I just moved about a couple of weeks ago and I haven't had a chance to change all my addresses. I couldn't take my driver's test today. I forgot, I should have taken some information with me, forgot to do that. You know, you don't give the people that are in these jobs enough credit to realize who's who. And I thanked her, turned around, and I said, I'll go back home and make another appointment. That was my fault. I should have known better. But sometimes we forget these things. But that signature is more important. That gentleman, when he came back the next time, he was snotty to me, and I didn't care because I had given him the phone number of the Board of Election. I also gave him the name of the person down there that he should be talking to, the head person. And the next time he came back, he said, I went down there and I changed my signature. And I said, well, that's nice. And you remember every time you come to vote, we check your signature more than your face. And that's the God's honest truth. And people don't realize that as election judges in the state of Illinois, I don't care what other states do. I care what we do in the state of Illinois and what kind of laws we have here. And let me tell you, if any of you ever want to have an experience, become an election judge and see what it's all about. It's not an easy job. You have a lot of responsibilities as an election judge. And you have to go through it. I will not vote for this because we already have two forms of ID. You have your voter's card, and you have to have all the information to get that voter's card, and you also have a signature that they go by. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. Dr. Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The voter ID referendum should be a unanimous decision. In fact, any appropriate referendum seeking voter input should be a unanimous vote by this board. Every single person on this board is here because voters put us here. These voters elected us as their county board representatives. Why can't we trust them enough to voice their opinions in a referendum? 250 years ago, our leaders fought a war of independence against a government that made decisions without input from constituents. In fact, a majority of citizens in the entire United States want voter ID because voting is a right reserved for only American citizens. Requiring voter ID does not make it harder for one to cast a vote. We all have to have an ID to cash a check, rent a car, shop at Costco, to board a plane, even enter some government offices. So we are all already carrying our IDs. As representatives to our American constituents, we may not agree on these referendums, but we do agree that we need to quote, focus on the issues that directly affect the daily lives of Winnebago County residents. This resolution does prioritize our residents because we do care about their input and make the decisions based on their input. Therefore, I will recommend all of my colleagues to vote yes on this referendum so we can get citizen input on voter ID. This will then guide us as representatives to vote accordingly on matters at the county level. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Webster.
Thank you, Chairman. Been taking some notes here myself. And some of these things that I heard, it puzzles me when I hear why people would be opposed to listening to their constituents, listening to the general public. I've seen a lot of advisory referendums over the years, and I myself would never vote against listening to what people's opinions are. Whether I agree with them or not, I would never bar them or attempt to bar them from voicing their opinion. I think one of my colleagues said that it looks to her that this is something to scare the voters to be concerned about. Well, it is something for voters to be concerned about. I think that's very, very important. It's mentioned by a couple of times there how nationwide, the populace nationwide is in favor of voter ID. So some numbers are 70-something%. One of our speakers said it's like 80%. So 80% of the people in the good old USA are concerned about it. We should be too. To me, it's ironic that the folks that are most opposed to this advisory referendum, can't say that strong enough, advisory referendum, the people that are most opposed to this by their very actions are the ones that are against putting this on a referendum to hear from the voters. They themselves then are, in a way, snuffing out voter rights there by not allowing that. It's mind-boggling to me. I don't understand it. And whether it's whose issue, who started this, whatever, who brought it forward, the issue is listening to the people that put us here. If there's an advisory referendum on, I don't care what it is, I won't say no to it because I want to hear from people. That's the way I feel as an elected official. I would never vote against any of these, of shutting down any of these and shutting down, denying the voters to sound off to us. I welcome the chance. I welcome the chance to hear from my constituents, whether they're telling me yes or no on this issue, because I've heard from a number of them on both sides. And I've had some very good conversations with some of the women from the Women's League of Voters. One of my constituents has called me a number of times, and we've had some pleasant conversations. We may not agree, but we had some good conversations about it. And that's what I urge her or anyone else to let the people of the Winnebago County, let them tell you how they feel. It is a concerning issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Neighbors?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The way I approach this subject is, I appreciate the fact that we do require ID in Winnebago County to already have the right to vote and to be able to vote. And I'm hearing from my colleagues that we should listen to our constituents. I had constituents calling me, telling me to vote no on this, sending this to, putting this on the ballot. For the simple fact that when we vote no, we vote for this, we open the door to omit a whole generation of voters that would be omitted from the right to vote, that are natural American citizens. I have a few elderly members of my family who were born down south, and they're older right now, and they don't have a birth certificate. They can't get a passport. They can't get a real ID because when they were born, they couldn't go to the hospital to be born. When they were in the county, they couldn't get a birth certificate. So the only record they have is a family Bible to tell them that has their name and their birth date. And so if we vote yes for this, we'll be omitting, we open the door to require in-person voting. And if you require in-person voting, those elderly people that can't get out to the polls will be omitted from being allowed to vote. So my constituents asked me to vote no on this. And there's plenty of Americans, I agree with the American flag. Everybody asks me, why do I, it's bipartisanship or like racial stuff, asking me about the American flag. And I say, my ancestors, that red represents blood, and a lot of my ancestors' blood is still on that flag. And so for me to vote yes to this will be omitting a whole generation of my ancestors from allowing them to vote.
Thank you. Ms. Valdez?
Thank you. I just wanted to make one clarification since we were talking about giving the voters the opportunity to speak. I just want to remind all of the county board members on here that we had a mental health vote referendum go up a few years ago, and that was to give the power to the people to vote on a half-cent sales tax that would go towards mental health. And there are several people in this room that voted against giving the people that voice. So please just keep in mind that there's more to it than just placing words on a ballot. This is a very serious matter that is divisive even to the 20 of us. How do we think it's going to play out to 150,000 people? Thank you.
Further discussion from the county board.
Mr. Chairman, if I may. I just want to make sure that because the question evolved, I just want to read again what actually would appear on the ballot, because I think it speaks to some of the comments that were made. So what the voters would see is the question, should Illinois law be changed to require voters to provide a valid photo identification once, either when registering to vote or before voting for the first time, while ensuring that all eligible citizens can obtain such identification free of charge and without unreasonable barriers. And I wanted to read that in so that everyone knows we listened to all of these concerns that were brought forward and tried to accommodate them as best we could. A lot of the, internally, some of the advocates for this talked about that idea of that there would be a problem with people getting ID. And because this is just a question being, asking voters, should this happen, the General Assembly would have the opportunity to work those out. And it is possible, I'm sure, in, this country to figure out a way to ensure that every person who wants to vote can get the appropriate ID to do so. And the elderly that we're talking about who have been voting for years, I assume are already registered, and I don't think this would affect them. This is talking about what would happen as we move forward, I think, as the question is written. Thank you.
Ms. Gorel?
First of all, they have been voting for years, and you didn't know that they didn't have a birth certificate. They didn't have the proper, my dad, for instance, and my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, they all came they came from Poland and Italy and they're Scotch-Irish. Do you think they now today, if they were living, they would have all those records? You have to realize that people don't have all these records because I was looking for my dad's citizenship. I know my dad was made a citizen after I was born, but do you think I can find it? I can't find his citizenship. And so, does that make me illegal? I have to look at this too, because is the whole state going to vote on this or just Winnebago County? Because, are the whole state's voting on this?
No, Winnebago County.
Just Winnebago County. Thank you. The other thing, would you read the last paragraph? Would you please, just above the signatures on the back page? This is called an advisory, that you're just giving us input. But on the back it says, read it to them.
Are you talking about in our resolution?
Right above it, where your signatures are, it's section 6.
Oh, this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its passage and approval as provided by law.
Yeah, and it says it's valid the same day that it's enforced, full enforced and effective upon its passage and approval as provided by law. So you vote for this, the next day and you vote yes, that's what you want. The next day it goes into law. That's one thing that we screw people on. They don't understand that an advisory committee isn't just telling us what they would like. It goes into law the next day if they vote for it.
What would go into law is that it would appear on the ballot.
It
Nothing
says it
else.
right here.
Correct.
So in Winnebago County, is that what we're going to start doing?
No. All we would do is submit the question to the voters. No other change would happen. No change would happen to the law. And if I read the ballot question, to your point, there's nothing about birth certificates. There's nothing about any of that in here.
But why is it written into that? Why is it there? That it goes into law the next day after it's voted, if it's voted yes.
That is the form of all of our actions that we take here.
I think we better go back and review that.
Mr.
Because it's an advisory.
We'll allow the state's attorney to comment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Section 6 is regarding just the resolution. So if this is passed by the board, the county clerk's office still has to certify the question to put it on the ballot. It's just the effectiveness of the resolution, not the question or changing any type of law.
And then why does it go into process the next day after election if it passes?
Because they have to be passed by August 17th. Any questions that have to be on that want to be on the ballot have to be passed by county boards by August 17th. So if this is passed tonight, it will be in full force and effect.
But it doesn't explain that, does it? The average voter doesn't know that.
That's standard language for our resolution.
That might be standard, but the average voter doesn't know that. They assume.
You have anything further, state's attorney?
No, Chairman.
All right. Okay. Anything further? Yes. Mr. Freddie Della Trinidad.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a general question, like a general election question. When you go and try to register to vote, Do you need identification when you go in there? Is there a requirement for that?
Clerk? I think he's posing the question to you.
Whoever.
Emma? Or the state's attorney or clerk?
There is a list that the registrars have before them, and they must abide by what is on that list specifically. A photo ID is one. If they do not have a photo ID, there is a list of alternative IDs. You must have like a form of mail from you can't count Publishers Clearinghouse. It has to be like a utility bill or something that attaches you to that address. So we know that you have the current address, so we can assign the appropriate precinct to you.
All right. Okay, so based on that, we do have a turnout problem as far as voting. Especially in my district, we have a very, very low turnout problem. So I think by going with this resolution, you will be adding more barriers to people who are, low turnout voters, because we can't even get citizens to go out and vote. So for that reason, I will be voting no on this resolution. Yep.
All right, thank you. Further discussion before I call the vote. Mr. Webster, one final time.
Thank you for one last time, I think. You know, by denying the general population to weigh in on this subject, you're saying you don't trust them, when it's just the opposite. By denying our general population a chance to weigh in on this and have their opinion heard, no wonder people don't trust the government. So here we are, we're the government, and we're not going to allow them to weigh in on that? That's wrong. That's why this needs to be on the ballot. Let the people weigh in on this. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Clerk Gamal, can you please call the roll?
Thank you, Chairman. We will start with Mr. Butita. Yes. Mr. De La Trinidad.
No.
Mr. Gable. Yes. Mrs. Gorel. No. Ms. Hansert. No. Mr. Hoffman. No. Mr. Lindmark.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy. Mr. Neighbors. Mr. Penny.
Yes.
Mr. Scroll. Mr. Sweeney. Mr. Tassoni. Dr. Michael Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Ray Thompson.
Yes.
Ms. Valdez.
No.
Mr. Webster. Mr. Arena.
Yes.
Mr. Booker.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, 11 yes, 8 no, and 1 absent.
Very good. The resolution is approved. Mr. Arena.
Chairman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next, we have a resolution submitting to the electors of the County of Winnebago, Illinois.
Yes.
By,
Can you hear me? I would like to make a request. I know we have a lot of votes. Anybody online, we can't hear the votes unless you speak into the speaker or into your microphone.
Okay. Mr. Penny is
Thank you.
requesting, which I think is prudent, that when you are casting a roll call vote, please speak it into the microphone so they can hear. Thank you, Mr. Penny. All right, Mr.
Thank
Arena.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next, we have a resolution submitting to the electors of the County of Winnebago, Illinois, by referendum, an advisory public question concerning amending the redistricting process for legislative state maps I move for its approval.
Moved by Mr. Arena. Do we have a second by Mr. Webster? Is discussion, Mr. Arena?
Just to say that I believe this issue is of significant importance to our political system, and I think that we would, my personal opinion, is we would be better served by maps that were less politically structured and more by population. Thank you.
Board member discussion on this resolution? Ms. Goro?
So what you're saying is you want to reduce our property taxes.
No, I'm sorry, we switched the order. This is the question on legislative maps.
On the what?
On the legislative maps, the
Fine,
order.
I'll answer that one too then.
Okay.
On the legislative map, I don't remember us asking the public or our voters, have we ever done that to decide how we're going to change the map? Have we ever done that? No, we haven't.
I'm not aware of having done it
No,
before.
we've never done that. It goes between the Republicans and the Democrats. Our head person right here, Lori, it goes between all, you have to have a couple of Democrats, a couple of Republicans, Lori, and you sit down and you figure out if you're going to change the map. This does not go to the public. It never has. This is done within our council.
This is pertaining to state legislative maps for the state legislators, not the county board districts.
Even that.
Okay. Just wanted to
even that.
clarify.
We have done that locally. We have done it within our own area. And you need to remember that. There's certain things we are, and again, it's going to be, if it passes, then we're going to have all these people wanting to come and help change all these boundaries because they're going to take it out of our hands. And that should go in the legislators' hands, not just the public, because we're going to have a mess if you do that, open it up like that. Think about it, okay?
All right, thank you.
And again, that should say then, it goes into, if it passes, it goes in to be 17 days law on this here. It should not say the next day. Thank you.
Thank you. Board member discussion on number 5. Hearing none, clerk, may you please call the roll?
Thank you, Chairman. We will start with Mr. De La Trinidad.
No.
Mr. Gable.
Yes.
Everyone, remember to speak into your microphone so that the online viewers can hear your votes. Thank you. Mrs. Gorel.
No.
Ms. Hansard.
No.
Mr. Hoffman. No. Mr. Lindmark.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Neighbors. Mr. Penny.
Yes.
Mr. Scroll.
No.
Mr. Sweeney.
Yes.
Mr. Tassoni.
No.
Dr. Michael Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Ray Thompson.
Yes.
Ms. Valdez.
No.
Mr. Webster. Mr. Arena.
Yes.
Mr. Booker.
Yes.
Mr. Butita.
Yes.
Chairman, that's 11 yes, 8 no, and 1 board member still absent.
Very good. The item has been approved. Mr. Arena.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next, we have a resolution submitting to the electors of the County of Winnebago, Illinois, by referendum an advisory public question concerning property tax relief. I move for its approval.
We have a motion by Mr. Arena. We have a second by Mr. Dr. Thompson. Mr. Arena.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the question, as it would appear on the ballot, is should the Illinois General Assembly pass legislation to cap and lower local property taxes and provide state funding to local governments that agree to reduce property tax levies? I think I myself hear frequently from constituents that property taxes are too high. We have a heavy reliance on property taxes to fund the services of government. This is asking our constituents, should that be changed to other funding sources?
Thank you. Board member discussion on this resolution? Ms. Goro?
I'm sorry to say, but I would love to have the taxes reduced. So if we reduce the taxes here and ask the state to pay us, where's the state going to get the money to pay us? Are they going to raise our state taxes to do that? Come on, think about it, people. You know, either way, you're going to end up paying. If it's the state, you're going to pay the state to pay us, or we're going to pay our own, which would probably come out better. And I think all of us should really take a look at how's the state going to get the money to pay us and to help us? Think about it. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Board member discussion? Hearing none, clerk, may you please call the roll?
Certainly, thank you, Chairman. We will start with Mr. Gable,
Yes.
Mrs. Gorel,
No.
Ms. Hensert. No. Mr. Hoffman. Mr. Lindmark.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes.
Mr. Neighbors. Mr. Penny.
Yes.
Mr. Scroll. Mr. Sweeney. Mr. Tassoni. Dr. Michael Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Ray Thompson.
Yes.
Ms. Valdez.
No.
Mr. Webster. Mr. Arena.
Yes.
Mr. Booker.
Yes.
Mr. Butita.
Yes.
Mr. De La Trinidad.
No.
Chairman, 12 yes, 7 no, 1 board member absent.
The resolution has been approved. Mr. Arena.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now we can begin the non-controversial portion of the report. The next is a resolution establishing the date, the time, and location of each meeting of the Winnebago County Board, Illinois, for fiscal year 2027, and I move for its approval.
We have a motion to approve by Mr. Arena. Do we have a second by Mr. Webster? Discussion, Mr. Arena?
None.
Board member discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed to this resolution? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present. Mr. Arena.
Next, we have a resolution establishing the county holiday schedule for 2027, and I move for its approval.
Moved by Mr. Arena, a second by Mr. McCarthy. Discussion, Mr. Arena?
None from me.
Board member discussion on this resolution? Very good. Are there any board members opposed? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present. Mr. Arena.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I may, I'd like to take the item from old business up now.
We're going to unfinished business for Operations and Administrative Committee.
Thank you. So next, we have a resolution submitting to the electors of the County of Winnebago, Illinois, by referendum, an advisory public question concerning restoring local zoning authority of commercial solar energy facilities, data centers, and agricultural land use. And I move to postpone this item indefinitely.
We have a motion to postpone indefinitely. We have a second by Mr. Penny.
Second.
Board member discussion, Mr. Arena?
This action is being taken because we are limited to 3 ballot questions, and this one is, would be a 4th. Thank you.
Okay. Board member discussion on this resolution that's being postponed indefinitely? Very good. Are there any board members opposed? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. Arena.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes our report.
Thank you. Now we'll jump back to Economic Development Committee.
Oh, I got you.
Good evening, everybody. The Economic Development Committee has a few items for you tonight. The first is a resolution approving $10,000 from the host fees to Go Rockford, formerly known as the Rockford Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, to support the 2026 Stroll on State event. and I so move for its adoption.
Moved by Mr. Sweeney. Do we have a second? Mr. Ray
Second.
Thompson? All right. And Mr. Sweeney, do we have any discussion?
Not for me, sir.
Any board member discussion? Hearing none, are there any? Yes. Mr. Webster. I'm sorry.
Webster is a no.
I didn't hear him.
Which one?
The resolution for the $10,000 host fee to
Okay.
Rockford area.
Are there any other board members opposed to this resolution? Besides Mr. Webster? Okay, please cast yes for all other board members present. Mr. Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The second item is a resolution granting authority to the Winnebago County Board Chairman to execute the documents necessary to complete a loan for $70,000 from the revolving loan fund to the Luth LLC, doing business as Foundations Center, and I move for its adoption.
We have a motion to approve by Mr. Sweeney, a second by Mr. Ray Thompson. Discussion, Mr. Sweeney?
Not for me, sir.
Board member discussion? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed? Very good, please cast yes for all members present. Mr. Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next is a resolution granting authority to the Winnebago County Board Chairman to execute the documents necessary to complete a loan for $100,000 from the revolving loan fund to Rockford Brake Manufacturing Incorporated, and I so move for its adoption.
Very good. Moved by Mr. Sweeney. We got a second by Mr. Gable. Discussion, Mr. Sweeney?
Actually, I would just comment on this one that very pleased and very proud, not only to be a part of this as a board, presumably when it passes here in a moment, but to also publicly congratulate the principals of the former Gunite Corporation that got together to buy this company and own it and preserve hundreds of gainfully employed positions for our fellow citizens here in Winnebago County. That this is a really neat, great story, I think, and it's also worth of note that the Rockford Development Corporation is providing roughly $4 million in funding for them as they get this back off the ground, and our $100,000 is also an assistance for a small piece of it, but an important piece of it, inventory, to keep that operation and that long historical company here in Winnebago County.
Board member discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present. Mr. Sweeney.
Our final item is a resolution approving a $5,000 grant from the host fees to the Winnebago County Diversity Council to support training, marketing, and community outreach, and I move for its adoption.
Moved by Mr. Sweeney, second by Mr. Ray Thompson. Mr. Sweeney, discussion?
Not for me, sir.
Board member discussion, Mr. Arena?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, just looking at the summary of the issue, and the functions seem to be mostly internal to the county. And I'm just curious, we've got this history of money having been paid in the past. What exactly is the money being paid to do? Like, who is getting paid and what are they doing?
Mr. Thompson, you want to answer that question?
I would defer to Mr. Neighbors.
Mr. Neighbors?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the Winnebago County Diversity Council, as you can see, just mostly monitors the diversity of Winnebago County employees. Every quarter we get a EEO report, and we also get invited to different functions throughout the community, like different fests and functions with different diversity groups, and in order to support and show the county's support to those groups, we attend their functions and let them know that Winnebago County supports the diversity of the county.
So the money's given to groups to pay for attendance to their events?
No, it's for the members of the, so we get training on just doing the EEO. We go to the event purchase a ticket for their event and attend the event. So the members of the committee attend the event just like any board member attend other events, just like when we had gone to the women's professional baseball thing. It was supported by the Winnebago County Board on a larger scale, and support, the chairman was there to support and go throw out, and to hand a ticket, but he wasn't able to do that, so I represented Winnebago County. And just like this, it's smaller organizations that just like to be heard from Winnebago County, smaller, diverse groups. And this group of people represent Winnebago County as showing, they support the diversity in the community.
So just to be clear, the money is given to organizations to pay for attendance at their events.
Are you asking who's the check going to?
Yeah, so I'm unclear about, because it talked about training and,
Right.
are we paying a trainer? I just didn't understand where the money's going.
It's a separate account for the Diversity Council, and the Diversity Council picks and chooses what events they participate in.
Right, and you pay for attendance, right?
Yeah, so I got a bank statement from the Diversity Council right now.
Yeah.
So it goes right into this bank account. Is the Diversity Council of Winnebago County, Illinois.
Okay. The answer is that you paid to attend events.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. McCarthy?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to address this to Mr. Neighbors. Tommy Meeks is on the committee, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good, thank you.
So it's Tommy Meeks, Dorothy Red, Elsie Wilson, Maria, I forgot her last name, and myself, and Valerie Hansen.
Very good. Further discussion on this resolution? Mr. Ray Thompson?
The idea behind this, I don't think I fully embrace or understand the, excuse me, the big picture. Excuse me. I don't think I fully appreciate the big picture, but the concept of providing training for the Winnebago County for different areas, I can appreciate, and I share that as we move forward, the makeup in our community continues to evolve and change, and being able to adapt and be successful, effective with the changing dynamics and the changing demographics. And I shared with some of the folks who are on one of the committees how I'd been ghosted by two professional engineers in another life who I hired and had them all set up for computers and phones and desks, and then they ghosted me because that's the mindset of some folks in this season, even if they are professionals. And similarly, in another meeting where the animal shelter folks were talking about one of the problems with getting people getting the information for their pet's vaccination in a timely fashion. And I said, well, why don't you put it in their Apple Wallet? And they said, what's that? And the point that I'm getting at is there's a lot of blind spots that each of us have, and we don't know that we have the blind spot. And this is an opportunity for us to try to get a window into what we don't know by learning more about other groups that are evolving in our community. So I think it's a good idea.
Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed to this resolution? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present. Mr. Sweeney?
That concludes our report.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. Now we'll move on to Public Works Committee. Mr. Tassoni. Put on your seat belts. It's going to be a... I thought you were drinking Mountain Dew.
No, that's scotch.
Okay. That's why I said put on your seatbelt, drinking Mountain Dew.
Good evening, everybody. Your Public Works Committee brings full a handful of resolutions. I understand, wait at time, we'll expedite it as quick as we can, but there are a couple anomalies here we need to speak to as we go through it. But first, item 26-042. It's a resolution authorizing award of bid for asphalt patching and minor overlay. I would so move.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni, second by Ms. Hanser. Discussion, Mr. Tassoni?
Just various areas throughout the county.
Very good. Board member discussion? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. Tassoni?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next item is 26-043, and it's a resolution authorizing an award of bid for Phase 1 of Madigan Creek restoration. So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni, second by Mr. Ray Thompson. Discussion?
Just to note here in the background information, it's nothing that needs to be amended, but there's clarification. Rockford Township Rockford Township will not be contributing $100,000. I'll get to that later, but just a notation there.
Very good. Board member discussion? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. Tassoni?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next item is 26-044. I would so move.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni, second by Mr. McCarthy.
Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I would then move to send this item back to committee.
We have a motion to send this item back to committee, second by Mr. McCarthy. Any opposition to that? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next item, 26-045, is a resolution authorizing an agreement between Winnebago County and Rockford Township Highway Department for Phase 1 of the Madigan Creek Restoration Project. I would so move.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni. We got a second by Mr. Ray Thompson. Discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, give me one moment just to look at something here. Is that, Sean, is this the one that needs the amendment? Second page, is this the one?
Dave, if you wanted to, we could send this one back to committee as well to clean it up.
All right, I would do that. This goes in conjunction with the other one. We don't want to clean up some funding agreements and send this back to committee as well. So I'd move.
Move to send this back to committee. Is there a second? Mr. Arena seconds that motion. Any discussion on sending it back? Hearing none, is there any opposition? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our next item, 26-046, it's a resolution authorizing Phase 1 engineering services agreement with Fairgraham for Bell School Road and Old Creek Road intersection improvements and for the appropriation of the MFT funds. I would so move.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni, second by Mr. Butita. Discussion?
This is just in preparation of some work out there, and it's anticipated that there'll be a roundabout in that vicinity when it's over.
Board member discussion? Hearing none. Are there any board members opposed? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. Tassoni?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a resolution authorizing the application to the Illinois Transportation Enhancement Program, in other words, ITEP, to fund an extension of the Riverside Boulevard multi-use path across I-90. I would so move.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni, second by Mr. McCarthy. Discussion?
Just to note, this is so that we can aggressively go after some funds and hopefully get some grant money to extend over the I-90-39 corridor out there.
Very good. Is there any opposition? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present. Mr. Tassoni?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 26-048. Did I skip anything? No. Good. A resolution authorizing a multi-agency memorandum of understanding for the Park Avenue Bridge over the Turtle Creek in South Beloit. I would so move.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni. Second by Mr. Arena. Ms. Hanser. Discussion?
This is just cleaning up some inspection agreement language.
Board member discussion? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present.
Thank you, Chairman. Our final resolution here, 26-049, it's an ordinance. I might have said resolution, but it's an ordinance, authorizing the dedication of certain parcels of land as public right-of-way for Paladin Parkway. I would move for suspension of rules on this.
We have a motion to suspend. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Arena. Is there any opposition to the suspension of rules? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present. The rules are suspended.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would then move for approval of this ordinance 26-049.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second by Ms. Hanser. Final discussion?
This is just cleaning up parcel lines and mapping agreements out in that area, just cleaning up the map.
Board member discussion? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed to this ordinance? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public Safety and Judiciary Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have no report tonight, and we will not be meeting next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lindmark. We've already concluded unfinished business. Any new business? New business, Mr. McCarthy.
Yes, just something really briefly, and I think this is in Ms. Hassel's district, that Sunday is Polish Fest, or St. Stan's. So I encourage all to come on out and get some pierogies and glumpkies and listen to some fabulous Polish music.
And we have these
Very good.
kind of meetings.
Kicks off after Mass, which is at 11 o'clock. Showtime, 12:15.
Board member discussion. Aaron Booker.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd like to commend the Honorable Stephen Nordquist on his retirement. Judge Nordquist served Winnebago, Boone County, 17th Judicial District with distinction for 30 years. 12 people licensed to practice law have applied for the process of interviews for the open judge's position. One of the 12 is an attorney with 30 years, consisting of misdemeanor and felony prosecution, private practice, and civil court. He was also a viable candidate for Winnebago County State's Attorney. He was not chosen for a second interview. Another applicant of the 12, longtime attorney, and actually wore the robe, sitting on the bench. An actual circuit judge was not selected for a second interview. The applicants have been narrowed to 3. All 3 happen to be public defenders. I must respect the process. The robe of the judge represents impartiality and equality of justice of the law. My human instinct, it's just mine, it's not the board, not the caucus, not my committee involvement, this is just me. I wonder about the impartiality of the selection process and hope that it was void of any party affiliation, race, or gender. So I respect the process and wish the new judge much luck and good fortune. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll move on to announcements and communications. Clerk Lori Gamal.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I'd like to say, due to these resolutions, I appreciate everybody learning a little bit more about the election process. This week was our poll worker election judge appreciation and recruitment. We need 500 judges to make sure that each election is run effectively and efficiently, and to make sure that every citizen who is legally able to vote can cast their ballot to vote. We are now less than 12 weeks away from the November election. In accordance to law, we sent out 80,000 letters to voters asking if they wanted to remain on the mail list, whether they wanted to receive a vote by mail ballot, or they can still choose to vote in person. The most important thing is we are given the right to choose on the ballot on Election Day. So again, thank you to those judges that step forward and take the oath and represent us in our county and our community. And most importantly, the items listed below were received as correspondence. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I know we have another quick meeting, but I want to get this in because I'm sure everyone's going to be charging to leave right after the next committee of the whole meeting. So today is Tim Neighbors' birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Neighbors. Next week is Angie Goro's birthday. We won't be here, so happy birthday, Angie. Yep. Song?
No.
Oh, no song. All right. So also I had a news release put on your desks there about the hunger luncheon that will be coming up. Winnebago County is partnering with the city of Rockford. I was asked to join that last year. I felt it very important that the county be involved in that. to raise some funds for the 9 pantries in this community that do a great job in bringing food to people that are in need for all walks of life. So please take a look at that. And if you can help out financially, please do. We'll probably be buying a couple tables to go to this luncheon. I'm sure Karen will be sending out an invite if anybody would like to attend with us.
Where's it at?
Okay. Anything else? Announcements, communications before I close this meeting out? We have a county fair. Winnebago County Fair next week. Yep.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, there's a VIP night for county board members. Is that Monday night?
Monday night.
Monday night, yes.
It's always a good time.
That's always a good time. All board members are invited. I'd like to see as many board members as possible to support our Winnebago County Fair. I think it's the oldest fair in the state. They have good pulled beef barbecue and
Hold something.
yeah, yeah. But it is a good time.
Very good. All right, thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? We got a motion by Mr. Webster, second by Mr. Dr. Thompson. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We are adjourned of this regular scheduled meeting. Now, the Committee of the Whole meeting. I'd like to call the Committee of the Whole to order. Clerk Gamal, can you please call the roll?
Yes, you do.
Committee of the Whole. Mr. Gable.
Here.
Mrs. Gorel.
Monterey County Fair.
Ms. Hansert.
Here.
Mr. Hoffman. Mr. Lindmark.
No, Mr. Lamar.
Mr. Lindmark? No, Mr.
He's gone.
Mr. McCarthy? Mr. Neighbors? Mr. Penny?
Here.
Mr. Scroll? Mr. Sweeney?
Here.
Mr. Tassoni? Dr. Michael Thompson? Mr. Ray Thompson?
Present.
Ms. Valdez? Mr. Webster? Mr. Arena? Mr. Booker?
Present.
Mr. Butita? Mr. De La Trinidad?
Present.
Ms. Fellers? Chairman, 16 board members present, 4 board members absent.
We do have a quorum, thank you. I don't believe there's any public speakers registered. So we do have a budget presentation by Mr. Steve Schultz, our Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, board members. You have in front of you a copy of this PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to move through it rapidly. And if you have questions about the presentation or about the document, which is over 300 pages long, then we're available over the next 6 weeks. Myself, Molly Terranoni, always appreciate Molly's good work and the work of our team. We have a couple of main operating funds. You're familiar with this. We have a lot of other funds as well. This is a list of significant items. I'd encourage you to read through that list when you're able to do so. It's important baseline information about the budget. We do have a deficit in the general fund in the current year that's at the bottom of this slide, about $8 million, and we have a budgeted deficit of $18.5 million in the new year. Public safety sales tax, the bottom of the page, we have a deficit this year. We have a positive surplus, although I'd encourage you to please look at the general fund, $18.5 million, and this positive $3 million as a combined number. It's somewhat arbitrary that the PSST is a positive number, and I'm looking at the potential of moving the court and case management $3 million expenditure in this new fiscal year into the PSST because it appropriately belongs there. The SIP budget has a variety of funding sources. Again, this is information that you've seen historically. The deficit budget that we have, the deficit budget will fund the SIP 27 and long-term capital plans that are in the 27 budget. We have excess fund balances that we're burning through in the general fund PSSD. We're depleting those rapidly. The SIP budget for the current year, projected actual of 18 million, and the new year is 17 million. Of that 17 million, 6.7 is the long-term capital budget. We've done this 3 years in a row. I believe this may be the last year that we're able to do a long-term capital budget based on the burning of the reserves. River Bluff is a good story. It's been a good story. It continues to be. I'd encourage you to look at the details of this slide. Challenges and opportunities, again, I won't go through those details, but encourage you to read through the list. And I'm available for questions, as I said. I appreciate the opportunity to be your CFO and want to be available as you have any questions about the budget. That's all I had.
Okay, any questions, Mr. Sweeney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do these numbers for next year include requested but not yet hired personnel from different departments?
There are 11 positions. That's on one of the slides, the significant issues that are in the budget. The third item from the bottom on this slide, there are 11 new positions, and they're listed in parentheses.
I think I'm looking at the wrong page. So they are included in the overall numbers that are projected.
Those
for next
11
year?
positions are included in this budget document.
Thank you.
Mr. Arena?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So just so that we all understand correctly, in this budget, in aggregate, we're spending 15 million more than we take in approximately. Is that correct?
Yeah, 15.5 million.
Okay. And last year, what was that number? You know, approximately?
Yeah, I have it right nearby. It's another significant negative, and this is projected at this point. So we have in the general fund a projected deficit of 7.9 million, and in the PSST a projected deficit of 6.5 million.
But my question is, within the year, expenditures versus revenue that come in that year, not what we're spending out of reserves or money we have on hand. This year, we're going to spend 15 million more, 15.5 million more than we take in. Last year, did we deplete our reserves by a higher number? Are we getting better or worse? That's where I'm going with this.
We're getting a little bit worse. This last year, it's 14.5 million. In the new year, it's 15.6 million rounding. So it's very similar numbers, but we're a little bit worse.
Okay, thank you. So comment to my colleagues here is, you know, we've been getting the chart to show us when we cross that threshold of our 25% reserves. And we're not making that situation better by increasing our deficit spending. So I think we need to take some time over the next 6 weeks until this passes and see if we can at least maintain the status quo with what we did last year and not grow the dollar amount of our deficit spending. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Butita?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So just for all the board members to know that we'll have on August 27th, the Finance Committee, where the budget will also be in discussion, and also our September 3rd board meeting when the budget is put on the floor, and then obviously we meet 3 weeks later and vote on it. So there's several more opportunities for discussion on the budget.
Thank you. Any other questions? Mr. Tassoni?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just on the topic of money and deficit, I would like to request either from our finance department or through our operations committee, I would like a detailed expenditure of what we've spent across the street at the public safety building since we've opened the door and went in there. Not detailed down to every nut and bolt, but I'd like to know what we've spent today and what do we anticipate we'll be additionally spending. I'd really appreciate that, please.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Schultz? Well, thank you, Mr. Schultz. You did a great job.
Thank you.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn? So moved.